Now gold is not in her. She's a diamond.
Hey everyone, welcome to Leo Productions. I'm Leo, and allow me to introduce myself. I have fallen in love with Project Zomboid since December of 2024, and I have fallen in love with this game because it has the core components of what I look for in a survival game: strategy, survival, realism, and creativity. So whether you're a seasoned survivor, a veteran, or you're just starting out, you'll find tips, tricks, and mostly gameplay that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. As the channel grows, well, as we all grow together, I want and aim to play with every single one of you, if that would be possible. And as the channel continues to grow, I'll be exploring other games too. So stay tuned for a variety of content that'll keep things fresh. So I'm inviting you all to join me on this journey as I learn the steep learning curve of Project Zomboid and tackle these challenges together. If you're new to Project Zomboid, just like me, you're in for a wild ride, definitely. This game doesn't pull any punches, every decision matters, and well, the smallest mistakes can get you killed. From the slightest mistake of turning around in the wrong timing, it cost you your life. It might just be your last. But today we'll be figuring out together things from scratch, learning the ropes, and maybe even surviving for longer than a day. And yeah, not like how I died here, and here. Well, anyways, fingers crossed. I hope that by the time I'm done with this, I would survive at least 5 hours in game. Alright everyone, I admit it, this game is quite difficult. Let's be honest here, it's really difficult. The moment I step out of the house, I just get mauled by zombies. So I stopped playing for a bit, took a rest, and I watched some videos, tips and tricks, a bit of gameplay, etc. And here are a bunch of things that I learned, and allow me to help you all survive as well on your first day and make it through your first night. Alright, so first things first, you have a couple of options to choose from. You can either choose Apocalypse, Survivor, Builder, and Custom Sandbox. Now when you normally set or start a world, initially it'd be defaulted to Apocalypse mode. So when you do that, press next, you'll be in the map selection screen. But before we get there, one thing that I learned is I highly suggest you all to go to Custom Sandbox. That way you can customize your settings from the population density of the zombies and where they're more dense, whether it be in the rural areas or urban areas. You can also adjust here after how long, how many days it takes for your electricity and water to shut off. Not to mention, after a couple of videos that I've seen, the best time of day to start the morning is 5 a.m. That's because you can, I think, if not mistaken, you can watch Life and Living, and you can earn a lot of XP from that. Now, once we enter Custom Sandbox, do customize your preferred settings to make things easier and to ease you in the game. You can learn the ropes gradually without difficulty. Now, after that, you'll be given 4 choices of spawn location. You have Muldrow, Riverside, Rosewood, and West Point. So from what I heard, here's what I learned. Muldrow has the least amount of weapons and by far has the most zombie population. Meanwhile, Riverside, pretty dense population. In terms of loot and materials, it's not bad. Meanwhile, West Point has, if I'm not mistaken, yes, West Point has higher density of zombies as well, but as I recall correctly, there are 2 places you can get firearms here. It's the gun store and the police station. Not to mention, I have a little, how do I say this? Secret base that is it's isolated, far from the city, and definitely will be a good place for your starter base. Now, moving on, after the map selection menu, you will be given the choice of customizing your character. Your traits, which there are negatives and positives. Apparently, you have to balance out the negatives to get points you can spend on for the positives. So, for the positives, it depends on how or what you prioritize in this game. It can be vehicles, so that you can escape faster. It can be strength, so that you can kill zombies easier. Or it can be construction or carpentry, if you prefer to be the builder. Now, from what I recall after watching videos, credits to them, the two best negatives that I always use are high thirst and weak stomach. Why these two? Weak stomach is a negative trait that only affects you when you eat rotten food or uncooked food, if I'm not mistaken. So if you don't eat anything that's raw, that's rotten, and everything is either cooked or from a can or fresh, then you're pretty much safe. That's 3 points for you. Meanwhile, high thirst speaks for itself. It's in the title. High thirst is when your character gets thirsty easily or dehydrated faster than normally. And the best solution to this is to carry around a container with water everywhere you go, and make sure that you have an extra either in your glove compartment or in your seats if you're bringing a car. But if you're going on foot and you sprint, I highly suggest that you bring 2 bottles or 2 containers of water because one will not suffice. Now, for the positive traits that I always go for, it's definitely burglar, graceful, inconspicuous, and keen hearing. These 4 traits are what I use essentially because it allows me to mitigate the chances of being jump scared by a zombie from behind and or attracting unnecessary attention. But here's a little thing I forgot to mention. You can edit the amount of traits that you get for free in the custom sandbox menu. So with that, you can go for either 10, your minimum is 0 and your maximum is 100. So you can give yourself 103 points and play around. Learn the game that way. It may be easy, it may be easier at the start, definitely, but that's only because you want to learn the game, and the best way to do it is by playing it, right? So I suggest you give yourself 103 trait points in the character tab. Then when you do, you can select all the good traits that you want. I highly suggest strength and fitness definitely as your main priority. And well, I think as you can see here, I've already downloaded some mods because at this time I was playing, I really learned a bit, and I was looking out into the scope of mods. And definitely super immune is a wonderful trait. It prevents you from being zombified or dying from a zombie bite. But the only bad side to that is you'll be anxious, you'll be queasy, you'll be what else? I think those are the only two. That's pretty annoying. So yeah, those are the traits I normally would go for. After this, you'll be directed to your character creation menu. Here is basically pure preference. From the name of your character, to your skin tone, to your hair features, your clothing, and that's pretty much it. Then after that, you load into the game. And here are some things that I learned. And for all those newbies out there, please do keep this in mind. That way you won't attract any zombie attention and you'll be safe within your own home. Now, if you're lucky enough, you'll be spawning in a house where there'll be ample amount of curtains on the windows that you can close. This will prevent zombies from seeing you inside. And if you don't have any curtains, I suggest you turn the lights off. That way they don't see you inside either. The chances are less, at least from what I observed. But before those two, whether there's curtains or not in your home, immediately crouch and go towards your windows. Check if there's curtains and close them. If there's none, close the lights. So once you spawn in, you'll want to definitely equip yourself with the basics: food and weapons. If you notice, there are canned food here. You can't open them unless you have a can opener. So if you don't have one in your home, make sure that you scavenge through your refrigerator for other food. Usually there'll be fresh food there. More likely than not, there is a 9 out of 10 chances that you will get fresh food in your refrigerator. Maybe drinks or maybe beverages or food. Yeah, redundancy. Now, after you're done with that, you're feeling brave, you can scout around, look around your house if you're near an area where you can loot other homes. And when you do, make sure you look for can openers if you don't have one yet, and more food and weapons. So that's basically it for the basics. And yeah, pardon my stuttering because this is my first video and it's apparently my first time with microphone. So I apologize to all of you, and I hope you'll keep up with me, and I promise that I will improve. That way I can give you guys the best content with the best narrative and hopefully with better edits than this one. Anyways, that'll be all for the first video. I hope I taught you guys something, mainly the newbies out there. And yeah, this is just the rough start of how I came to learn and start off Project Zomboid. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that I appealed to most of you, and looking forward to making more videos. Thank you guys, I hope to see you again in the next one, and if you do like my content, please do subscribe. I wish to see you all more here, more in the channel, and maybe soon play with you all. Thank you and see you next time.